Hello, I'm Phil Ernest on the Ring of Kerry.
In this video, you'll see the town of Killarney. Then it's on to the Ring of Kerry and its amazing coastline. You'll learn about this stone fort. And finally, you'll see this beautiful waterfall. The town of Killarney has a population of just under 15,000 people. It is one of Ireland's most picturesque towns in the country's beautiful southwest. Even though Killarney can be a bit touristy and even crowded at times, although you would not think that looking at this video, which I took about 8 in the morning on a Sunday. Killarney is still certainly worth visiting, especially if you plan on taking the scenic drive, the Ring of Kerry. Killarney remains the country's most expensive hotel destinations, with tourists willing to pay an average of 120 euros a night. Killarney is a safe town with a low level of crime. The streets are clean as the cleaning crew is up getting the town ready for the day. In addition to the town's low crime rate and clean streets, it has its own defibrillator right in a booth ready if needed. If you're finding this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And see that logo on the lower right hand corner of the screen? Please hit that to subscribe to the channel. If you do plan to visit Killarney, it is best to plan your trip outside of the tourist season. And finally, Killarney is not a town without a Guinness store and its churches as well. And now it's time to get on to the main attraction, the Ring of Kerry. The Ring of Kerry measures 179 kilometers in length, and the route takes around 3.5 hours to drive without stopping. However, it's always better to take your time to experience the vast variety of nature, culture, and activities in Kerry, as you will soon see on this video. I decided to drive the Ring of Kerry counterclockwise. Next up, the Cathergall Stone Fort. To get to the Cathergall Stone Fort from the parking lot, it is a 400-meter walk. Once you see the stone fort, they are impressive in size. The stone forts are mainly found in the west of Ireland. Within the fort, there are the remains of a large circular dry stone building. It is likely that somebody of importance lived here about 1,000 years ago. Notice the flights of steps and terraces in the inner face of the wall. This is so that they can climb up on easily from the inside to look outside if any predators are approaching. Cathergall simply means the bright stone fort. Cathergall is a particularly fine and impressive stone fort with a massive dry stone wall. As far as the age of these Cathergall stone forts, some believe they were made in the Iron Age, about 500 BC to 400 AD, while others believe they came much later, at about 400 AD to 1200 AD. One thing is certain, no matter what year they were constructed, they were an impressive work of art for their time. You are looking at the Daniel O'Connor Memorial Church of the Holy Cross. It is a Catholic church in Cathergall. This is the only church in Ireland to be named after a layman. This church was built and named with special papal permission after the great statesman Daniel O'Connor, a layperson, neither a saint nor a deity, but a man who worked tirelessly for Catholic emancipation by way of mass movement of people in Ireland in the 17th and 18th century. The church is beautiful. With its large stained glass windows, the style adopted is Gothic, of an early Celtic type. All the stone material in the church is the best Irish granite. The church was completed in 1902. At the time the church was completed, the final total spent was £19,370. One of my favorite things about driving the Ring of Kerry was coming upon these small, colorful towns along the way, each of them having their own charm and appeal, and the interesting stories that they have connected with them. For example, the small town of Watervale has a population of a little more than 500 people. But the story in this town isn't because of the people, it's actually because of the beach and the pretty green algae that has accumulated on the rocks. The question most often asked is, why is the algae on the rocks? And that question can simply be answered this way. Phosphate attaches to sediments. When dissolved, oxygen concentration is low in the water. Sediments release phosphate into the water column. This phenomenon encourages the growth of algae. Algae usually develops when water temperature is higher and there is increased light. So in short, this occurs when nutrients flow downriver to the sea and build up at a rate that overfeeds the algae that normally exists in the environment. Next up on the Ring of Kerry, the cool, colorful little town of Sneem. This town has a population of less than 500 people. There is visitor information posted nearby. The city proudly honors football star John Egan with a bronze statue. The gentleman on the left is my 90-year-old dad enjoying his first trip to Ireland. For being such a small town, Sneem offers a wide variety of places to eat. Since the country has only been open for a few short weeks, the restaurant policy has changed. If you want to dine inside, you do need to bring along your card to show you are fully vaccinated. Otherwise, you will have to dine outside. So if you want to dine inside, don't forget to bring your vaccination card with you. This is pretty cool, a classic automobile made into a donut shop. I dined at this establishment here and ordered a pepperoni pizza. These are some of the smallest pepperonis I've ever seen. With its bright, colorful buildings, Sneem left a lasting impression on me, one that I will not soon forget. And now a look at the city's bridge from above and below. In 2000, a time capsule was buried in the center of town, to be opened in 2100. My personal favorite part of the Ring of Kerry was the nature, particularly the nature in Killarney National Park. The Killarney National Park was the first national park in Ireland, created when the McRoss estate was donated to the Irish Free State in 1932. The park is of high ecological value because of the quality, diversity, and extensiveness of many of the habitants and the wide variety of species that they accommodate, some of which are rare. Torque Waterfall is approximately 7 kilometers from Killarney town. A short walk of approximately 200 meters brings you to the waterfall. From that point, steps lead to another viewing point at a higher altitude that provides a view over the middle lake. The waterfall, which is approximately 20 meters high, is at its best after a heavy rainfall. If you would like to see my other videos on Ireland, please click on the link now. Thank you so much for watching.